There is a quiet power that only time can create. It doesn't shout. It doesn't chase attention. It doesn't need validation. And yet, people feel it the moment you walk into a room. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, believed that true strength is invisible to the untrained eye, but undeniable to those who understand human nature. Today's video is about that invisible strength. It's about the psychology of mature masculine appeal. And more specifically, it's about the proven signs that reveal when an older man is not just confident, not just experienced, but deeply attractive at a psychological level. This is not surface-level attraction. This is not about looks, money, or status symbols. This is the kind of attraction rooted in self-mastery, emotional control, and inner authority, the kind Marcus Aurelius lived by and wrote about nearly 2,000 years ago. If you recognize these signs in yourself, you're not trying to be attractive anymore. You already are. And others can feel it, even if they can't explain why. The first sign is your emotional stillness under pressure. Marcus Aurelius wrote that you should be like a rock against which the waves continually break, yet it stands firm and unmoved. A highly attractive older man does not react impulsively. He does not raise his voice to prove a point. He does not allow chaos around him to enter his mind. When situations become tense, uncomfortable, or unpredictable, you remain centered. This calm is rare, and because it is rare, it is magnetic. People instinctively trust the man who doesn't panic. Women, especially, feel a deep sense of safety around emotional stability. Your silence in moments where others would explode communicates authority far louder than words ever could. You don't argue to win. You don't explain yourself excessively. You observe, you choose your response carefully, and you act only when necessary. This is not weakness. This is discipline. And discipline, according to Stoic philosophy, is one of the highest expressions of power. Emotional stillness tells the world that you have faced storms before and survived them. That alone makes you compelling. The second sign is that you no longer seek approval, and that absence is felt immediately. Marcus Aurelius warned against living for the applause of others, because the moment you depend on it, you surrender control over your peace. An attractive older man has already crossed this line. You don't adjust your values to fit the room. You don't perform to be liked. You are comfortable being misunderstood. This creates a psychological tension that draws people in. When you don't chase validation, others begin to offer it freely. Your opinions are measured, not emotional. Your decisions are based on principle, not popularity. There is a quiet confidence in knowing who you are and standing by it without needing confirmation. This independence of mind is deeply attractive because it signals strength, clarity, and self-respect. It tells others that you are not easily influenced, manipulated, or shaken. You are grounded. And grounded men are rare in a world addicted to external approval. When you combine emotional stillness with freedom from validation, something powerful happens. Your presence slows the room. Conversations become more meaningful. People listen when you speak, not because you demand attention, but because your words carry weight. Marcus Aurelius believed that a man's character should speak before his mouth ever does. And when you embody this principle, attraction becomes a byproduct, not a goal. You are no longer trying to impress anyone. You are simply being consistent with who you are. That consistency builds trust. Trust builds respect. And respect is the foundation of lasting attraction. This is only the beginning. These first signs are internal, invisible, and often underestimated. But they set the tone for everything that follows. A man who masters his emotions and frees himself from the need for approval has already won a battle most never even realize they are fighting. And as we move forward, you'll see how this inner mastery begins to show itself in the way you speak, move, decide, and lead. Without force, without noise, and without effort. Stay with me. As you grow into this mature masculine presence, the third sign begins to reveal itself through your relationship with time and attention. A highly attractive older man does not rush. He does not hurry his words, his decisions, or his life. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself daily that life is long enough when lived with intention, and short only for those who waste it chasing distractions. You embody this understanding. You listen more than you speak. You allow silence to exist without discomfort. When others rush to fill empty space with noise, you remain calm, present, and deliberate. This patience creates gravity. People feel that you are not desperate for outcomes, and that detachment makes every interaction more powerful. Women sense this immediately. Your lack of urgency communicates abundance. You are not trying to extract attention, affection, or validation from anyone. You are selective with your energy, and that selectiveness makes your attention feel valuable. When you choose to engage, it feels intentional, not impulsive. This controlled pace tells the world that you are a man who governs himself, not someone being pulled by every impulse or emotion. The fourth sign is your comfort with responsibility and accountability. Marcus Aurelius believed that a man should never complain about the role life has given him, but instead perform it with excellence. An attractive older man does not blame circumstances, people, or fate for where he stands. You take ownership of your past, your choices, and your direction. This accountability is deeply attractive because it signals maturity and strength. You don't explain away your failures or wear your struggles as excuses. You accept them, learn from them, and move forward without bitterness. When something goes wrong, you don't look for someone to blame. You look for what can be done. This mindset radiates reliability. People trust men who can carry weight without collapsing under it. Women feel secure around men who don't avoid responsibility or deflect fault. Your sense of duty is quiet, not performative. You do what needs to be done whether anyone is watching or not. And in a world full of men who want authority without responsibility, this trait alone sets you apart. The fifth sign shows itself in how you relate to desire, temptation, and impulse. Marcus Aurelius warned that indulgence weakens the soul, while self-restraint strengthens it. A highly attractive older man has learned control, not repression, but mastery. You are not ruled by urges, addictions, or constant cravings for stimulation. You can enjoy pleasure without being owned by it. You can walk away without regret. This self-command is felt instantly by others. It creates an aura of discipline and depth. You don't overindulge in attention, drama, or emotional highs. Your energy is steady, not scattered. This steadiness is rare and powerful. Women, in particular, are drawn to men who are not slaves to desire, because it signals inner strength and emotional safety. You don't need constant excitement to feel alive. You find fulfillment in purpose, routine, and self-respect. This control over impulse tells the world that you are capable of long-term thinking, commitment, and leadership. Together, these signs deepen the presence you carry. Your patience slows the pace of interactions. Your accountability builds trust. Your self-restraint commands respect. None of this is loud. None of it is dramatic. And that is precisely why it works. Marcus Aurelius never preached attraction, yet his philosophy naturally creates it. Because when a man governs his time, his responsibilities, and his desires, he becomes rare. And rarity is always attractive. You are no longer trying to stand out. You simply stand firm. And others begin to adjust themselves around you. This level of masculine appeal is not something you put on. It is something you become through years of reflection, discipline, and experience. And as these qualities deepen, attraction stops being something you chase. It becomes something that follows. The sixth sign appears in the way you speak. Not how much you speak, but how little you need to. Marcus Aurelius believed that a man should ask himself in every moment whether his words are necessary, truthful, and aligned with virtue. A highly attractive older man has internalized this principle. You don't fill conversations with noise. You don't over-explain your thoughts or justify your choices to feel accepted. When you speak, your words are measured, direct, and intentional. This restraint gives your voice weight. People lean in when you talk because they sense that you are not wasting their time. Your tone is calm, not reactive. You don't interrupt to dominate or talk over others to prove intelligence. You allow pauses. You allow others to reveal themselves. This creates psychological depth. Silence, when used with confidence, becomes a form of leadership. Women often interpret this controlled communication as wisdom, emotional intelligence, and authority. You are not trying to impress through storytelling or performance. You let your presence and your actions do most of the work. And because of that, every word you do choose to say feels deliberate and meaningful. The seventh sign is your acceptance of impermanence and your comfort with solitude. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself constantly that everything changes, that nothing external truly belongs to us, and that peace comes from accepting this reality. An attractive older man is not afraid of being alone. You do not cling to people, relationships, or outcomes out of fear. You understand that solitude is not emptiness. It is clarity. You are comfortable sitting with your own thoughts. You don't need constant companionship to feel whole. This independence creates a powerful sense of emotional stability. Women feel this as non-neediness, which is one of the strongest indicators of mature masculine appeal. You choose connection, not because you need it, but because it aligns with your values and direction. When relationships end, you don't collapse. You reflect, accept, and continue forward. This acceptance of impermanence allows you to love deeply without fear, because you are not trying to possess or control. You are present, grounded, and free. When all 7 of these signs come together, something profound happens. You stop operating from lack. You stop proving. You stop chasing. Your life becomes quieter but stronger. Your confidence becomes less visible, yet more undeniable. Marcus Aurelius never sought admiration, yet he earned respect across generations because he mastered himself. That is the core lesson here. Attraction is not created by performance. It is revealed through character. The more you align your actions with discipline, patience, accountability, restraint, and acceptance, the more naturally others are drawn to you. This is the appeal of the highly attractive older man, not youth, not ego, not image, but presence, purpose, and inner order. If you see these signs in yourself, understand this: you didn't stumble into them by accident. They were built through years of choice, reflection, and endurance. And if you are still building them, you are already on the path Marcus Aurelius walked. The path of quiet strength. Carry yourself with dignity. Govern your mind. Act with purpose. And let attraction become a consequence of who you are, not something you chase.